Hey, how are you? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Drew, aka Booty Sweat, and we're continuing on with our series of lessons for Mortal Kombat 11 Ultimate. Today we're going to be talking about defense, a couple of important defensive options and defensive mindsets that you might need to take into the game in order to play effective defense in this game. So yeah, go ahead and like and subscribe if you're enjoying this playlist. A link to the entire playlist will be below, or this series rather. And yeah, anyway, let's get into it. Okay, so the first thing, the main thing that you have to understand about Mortal Kombat 11 is that there's essentially three types of defensive options that you can do initially just from the basics. So we'll get into a couple more advanced options in a moment, but you block high, you block low, or you neutral duck. So what does blocking high do? It blocks overheads. What does blocking low do? It blocks lows. Both will block mids. But ducking will completely avoid highs. Like a high attack will just completely whiff on a ducking opponent. So I'll show you examples of all of these. Here I have Geras set to do his overhead. You see I block that, and I block his low. But if I'm blocking low with the overhead, I get hit. If I'm blocking high with the low, I get hit. So you have to high block overheads, and you have to low block lows. Make sense? Easy as mud. Now I have Geras set to throw, as you can see, but a throw is a high. So, if I duck, he misses entirely. Now the cool thing about this is high attacks can be countered with a down 2. Everyone has a down 2 crushing blow that comes out if you counter a high attack with it. So if you duck under a high attack and then use down 2, you can get that crushing blow. So duck attacks will completely avoid highs. Blocking high will let you block overheads, and blocking low will let you block lows. Now, one thing I want to talk about really quickly is a concept in Mortal Kombat called fuzzy guarding. So what a fuzzy guard is when you switch from one stance to another while guarding. And what this is it's basically an option select. In other words, you will be able to block any kind of mix-up depending on the mix-up. I mean, not every mix-up is fuzzy guardable, but Geras, for instance, has a mix-up in his 1-1-1, which ends in an overhead, and his 1-1 sand trap, which ends with a low. It's sand trap. So he can use his close sand trap or his overhead to mix you up. The way that you know you can fuzzy guard this, and all of this information is available online. I'm not coming up with any kind of grand scheme or anything, but the way you know you can fuzzy guard this is that his 1-1-1 comes out 4 frames slower than his 1-1 into sand trap. There's a gap there. Now the sand trap comes out faster and it's a low. So what does that mean? And this is going to be, you might need to look up what mix-ups and things are fuzzy guardable, because they're not all fuzzy guardable. But this one is because of that 4 frame gap. So long story short, for this one in particular, how do you fuzzy guard it? You just block low, and then you let go of down so that you're no longer blocking low. And if they use the sand trap, then you will have blocked it low, but when you let go of it, if they use the 1-1-1 overhead, you pop back up to block it high. I'll kind of show you what it looks like. So you start by guarding low, and then you release down to guard high, right as that next move is coming out. And you see, so I end up blocking either, even though I'm letting go with the same timing both times, I'm blocking both options. See how I'm standing up after that? That's how you know I'm letting go of down, but I'm still blocking it low. Pretty cool. So again, not every string, not every mix-up can be fuzzy guarded, but a lot of them can. And so a lot of mix-ups, if you figure out how to fuzzy guard, they're not going to give you nearly as much trouble as they once did. So kind of practice that, look up, see what strings are fuzzy guardable. There's a whole, if you go on combatacademy.com, there's an entire section devoted to fuzzy guarding, and I think it has a list of strings that can be fuzzy guarded, if I'm not mistaken. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure. Alright, so moving on to the next advanced, the next one, fuzzy guarding is like one thing, it's really only going to be situational whether or not you need it. Flawless blocking is something that you need to probably get down and start practicing so that you can utilize it effectively in matches, because there are a lot of characters that can just spam plus frames over and over again. Jade is a big example, but Jade has a gap in her string that'll let you flawless block, and so I'm going to show you that next. Alright, so I have here Jade, and the reason I've picked Jade is because she has a string. It's her, I don't even remember, something weird. It's her forward or her back 3-4-3-4 that you have to press in really fast. And it is actually +5 on block. So I'll show you that real quick. So if you look in the bottom right, when she gets this fourth kick out, she's +5. You see that down on the bottom right? So the problem with that is that means she can continue her pressure if all I do is block this, and it's a mid, so I can't duck it. If all I do is block this, especially in the corner, I mean, she can immediately go back into that again, or she can go into something else. It really is kind of, she's able to do whatever she wants, basically. So if you're up against a Jade who is just abusing this against you, and you're like, what do I do after these plus frames? This is where flawless blocking comes in handy. So you'll notice there's a little gap between her third kick and her fourth kick, just a little bit of time. And if you let go of guard and then tap it right as that fourth kick hits you, you'll flawless block it. Not like that. Like that. And then you see you don't take any chip or anything like that, and it actually becomes -10 on block if you flawless block it. So you can actually punish it. That wasn't a punish, but you get the idea. So what can you do when you flawless block like this? Well, an interesting thing you can do in this game is a flawless block punish. If you press up 2, you can also do up 3, but nobody really does that, because pressing up 2 right as you flawless block will actually get you a full combo. So, for example, she's in here, she's in the corner spamming this against me, so what do? Because she was in my face spamming that, she just lost 32%. So that's kind of the gist of it. You want to get the different timings down and stuff like that. If there's a character who has like plus frames or something that are just really bothering you, hold on, let me make her stop that. If there's a character that people are using online that's just really, it's making you struggle because they have maybe like plus attacks or they have moves that are really hard to deal with, it will be worth it for you to go into practice mode and find out if there's a gap. Find out the timing to flawless block that attack and potentially get your big punish. So you, again, the way that you do that is you just tap block right as that attack hits and then hit up 2. And yeah, that'll get it for you. So it'll take some practice. It's not the easiest to do, especially in lag. But you know, practice it and you'll get it down and you'll really get a good feel for it, okay? Alright, so that kind of covers all of the defensive options in Mortal Kombat 11. You want to make sure that you're using these in the appropriate times. You know, you want to figure out what characters have mix-ups that you can fuzzy guard, because that will make your matchups against them so much easier. Figure out what characters have gaps in their strings that you can flawless block for big damage, because again, that will make your life so much easier. So, alright, clear as mud. Great, I hope this was helpful to you, and yeah, we're gonna be back with another one right after this. So yeah, have a good one. Be blessed.